In the heart of the desolate Texas landscape, nestled between thickets of twisted mesquite and dusty plains, lay the small town of Hollow Creek. The air was heavy with the secrets it held, and the moon cast long shadows on the cracked pavement as the townsfolk went about their business, unaware of the sinister darkness that lurked beneath their seemingly tranquil lives. At the outskirts of Hollow Creek, an imposing mansion stood as a grotesque monument to wealth and power. It belonged to the enigmatic billionaire, Victor Blackthorne, a man with a reputation for his unscrupulous business dealings and a penchant for the macabre. Behind the mansion's grand facade, a hidden chamber harbored a malevolent secret. Years ago, Blackthorne had acquired a peculiar creature, a werewolf, captured in the wild when he was just a helpless boy. The pet in a cage was a twisted fascination for the wealthy man, who reveled in the idea of controlling such a fearsome and supernatural being. The cage, nestled in the dimly lit chamber, was a wretched prison for the creature, subjected to years of torment and manipulation. As the moon rose high in the Texan sky, an eerie silence blanketed Hollow Creek. Unbeknownst to the townspeople, the werewolf in Blackthorne's mansion was no ordinary beast. The sinister experiments conducted in the secret chamber had unleashed a darkness that festered within the creature, turning it into something far more malevolent than anyone could have imagined. One fateful night, a blood-curdling howl echoed through the town, signaling the beginning of a terror that would grip Hollow Creek. The townsfolk awoke to find their peaceful existence shattered, as gruesome attacks unfolded under the cloak of darkness. Livestock were found mutilated, and rumors of a monstrous creature spread like wildfire. Sheriff Evelyn Harper, a resilient woman with a haunted past, took it upon herself to investigate the string of brutal incidents. As she delved into the mysterious occurrences, she discovered a trail of corruption leading straight to Blackthorne's mansion. Determined to unveil the truth, she gathered a small group of trusted allies, including the town's reclusive veterinarian, Dr. Samuel Hayes, and a skeptical journalist, Amelia Harris. Together, the trio ventured into the shadows that clung to Hollow Creek. They uncovered the unspeakable horrors hidden within Blackthorne's mansion, the cruel experiments, the tortured werewolf, and the twisted machinations that had given birth to a breed of evil, intelligent werewolves. With each revelation, the town's dark history unraveled. Blackthorne's insatiable greed had not only spawned a legion of monstrous creatures, but also entwined the fate of the townspeople with the malevolent force he had unleashed. As the group confronted the werewolves, a battle of survival unfolded, pitting human against beast in a struggle for the town's very soul. The moon hung ominously overhead, casting an otherworldly glow upon the grotesque scene that played out in the heart of Hollow Creek. Sheriff Harper, Dr. Hayes, and Amelia Harris fought valiantly against the werewolf horde, but the odds seemed insurmountable. Just when all hope seemed lost, a mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, a cloaked figure with ancient knowledge of the supernatural. The cloaked stranger revealed that the curse that had transformed the boy into a werewolf could only be broken by a sacrifice, an act of redemption that would sever the dark ties binding the town to the monstrous legacy. As the group grappled with the weight of their choices, the cloaked figure vanished into the night, leaving behind an ominous sense of uncertainty. Hollow Creek stood on the precipice of its darkest hour, caught between the insatiable greed of a malevolent billionaire, the vengeful spirits of the werewolves, and the fragile hope that redemption might yet be found in the face of unspeakable evil. The townspeople were left to grapple with the chilling question: could they escape the clutches of the werewolf curse, or would Hollow Creek be forever condemned to the shadows of its twisted past? In the aftermath of the harrowing battle, the town of Hollow Creek was left in a state of eerie quietude. The werewolf attack ceased, and the townspeople cautiously ventured out of their homes, Haunted by the memories of the recent horrors, Sheriff Evelyn Harper, Dr. Samuel Hayes, and Amelia Harris found themselves at the center of a storm that refused to abate. As the trio delved deeper into the mystery, they discovered a hidden chamber beneath Blackthorne's mansion, filled with forbidden tomes and ancient artifacts. The cryptic writing spoke of a curse rooted in the town's dark past, linking the werewolves to a sinister force that demanded a balance between good and evil. The cloaked figure's prophecy echoed in their minds. A sacrifice was needed to sever the cursed ties. The townspeople, gripped by fear and uncertainty, turned to their leaders for guidance. Sheriff Harper, burdened by the weight of her responsibility, sought counsel from the wise elder, Abigail Turner. Abigail, a keeper of the town's forgotten lore, revealed a long-buried secret, a prophecy foretelling the arrival of a savior who would decide the fate of Hollow Creek. Amidst the growing tension, a mysterious stranger arrived in Hollow Creek, with a weathered face and eyes that seemed to hold ancient knowledge. The stranger introduced himself as Gabriel Thornfield. He claimed to be a hunter of supernatural forces, drawn to the town by the disturbance caused by Blackthorne's twisted experiments. Gabriel offered to assist the beleaguered trio in their quest for redemption, revealing a deeper connection to the werewolves than anyone could have anticipated. His haunted eyes told a tale of personal vendettas and a quest for atonement that mirrored the struggles of Hollow Creek. As the group sought answers, they uncovered a hidden chamber beneath Blackthorne's mansion, where the origins of the curse were etched into the walls. It revealed a tragic tale of a forbidden love between two families, torn apart by greed and betrayal. The curse, born from the darkness within human hearts, bound the town to the werewolves, forever entwining their destinies. The prophecy spoke of a descendant from both feuding families, a child born under the cursed moon, whose choices would determine the town's salvation or damnation. Gabriel Thornfield, it seemed, carried the blood of one of these families, making him a key player in the impending battle between good and evil. As the revelation unfolded, a sense of urgency gripped Hollow Creek. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting an ominous glow over the town. Sheriff Harper, Dr. Hayes, Amelia, and Gabriel rallied the townspeople, preparing them for a confrontation that would decide their collective fate. In the shadows, Blackthorne watched with malevolent glee, his greed-driven intentions fueling the chaos that unfolded. Unbeknownst to the townsfolk, he had struck a dark bargain with the forces that governed the curse, seeking power and immortality in exchange for the continued suffering of Hollow Creek. The stage was set for a final, climactic confrontation beneath the cursed moon. The werewolves, fueled by both vengeance and the curse that bound them, clashed with the desperate townspeople. Amidst the chaos, Sheriff Harper confronted Blackthorne, exposing his unholy alliance and the true source of the town's torment. As the battle raged on, Gabriel Thornfield faced a personal reckoning, torn between his own quest for redemption and the dark forces that sought to consume him. The fate of Hollow Creek hung in the balance, with the prophecies and curses converging in a moment of reckoning that would shape the town's destiny for generations to come. In the final moments of the confrontation, chaos reigned as the moon cast its malevolent glow over the battleground. Gabriel Thornfield, torn between his quest for redemption and the dark forces within, succumbed to the ancient curse that pulsed through his veins. The once mysterious stranger transformed into a monstrous werewolf, his eyes filled with a feral madness that matched the sinister forces that enveloped Hollow Creek. As the werewolves and townspeople clashed in a frenzied frenzy, Blackthorne reveled in the unfolding tragedy. The cursed moon reflected in his eyes, illuminating the twisted satisfaction etched on his face. Sheriff Evelyn Harper fought valiantly, But the odds proved insurmountable as the relentless werewolf horde overwhelmed the desperate townspeople. In the heart of the chaos, Amelia Harris discovered the hidden truth. The prophecy foretelling the arrival of a savior was a cruel illusion. The curse that bound Hollow Creek was unbreakable, and the choices made by the townspeople were mere pawns in a malevolent game orchestrated by forces beyond their comprehension. As the moon reached its zenith, a deafening howl echoed through Hollow Creek. The town succumbed to the darkness, its once tranquil streets now stained with blood and despair. The werewolves, guided by the unholy alliance between Blackthorne and the ancient forces, claimed victory, ensuring that Hollow Creek would forever be haunted by the curse that gripped its soul. Blackthorne, now an immortal puppet master, reveled in his triumph. The once prosperous town became a desolate wasteland, its buildings crumbling and streets echoing with the anguished cries of those who had fallen. The werewolves, now twisted abominations under Blackthorne's control, roamed the desolate landscape, a perpetual reminder of the town's descent into darkness. Sheriff Evelyn Harper, the last vestige of resistance, faced a grim fate. Imprisoned in a cage beneath Blackthorne's mansion, she became a living testament to the town's tragic history. The once proud sheriff was now a broken soul, her spirit crushed by the weight of a curse that refused to release its grip. Hollow Creek, once a beacon of hope, now stood as a cursed monument to the insatiable greed and darkness that lurked within the hearts of humanity. The werewolves, driven by an unrelenting hunger for vengeance, roamed the desolate streets, their mournful howls echoing through the ghost town that had once thrived with life. The once prominent figures of Hollow Creek were now nothing more than echoes in the wind, lost to the shadows that enveloped the cursed town. The twisted legacy of Blackthorne's malevolence endured, leaving the small Texas town to rot in eternal torment. A cautionary tale of the consequences that awaited those who dared to manipulate the supernatural forces that lurked in the shadows.